everybody. Welcome to Who Gives a Shit, the podcast that asks the most important question.
Who gives a shit?
Hey, CJ, man, how's it going, bro? How's your week been?
It's been going all right, man. I thought about killing myself, and I got kind of close, too. It was
Damn,
pretty
that's
awesome.
dark. It's awesome. How is that awesome?
Well, you know, the sweet release of death would make me not give a shit about anything.
Damn, taking the ultimate nihilist Trek move out, taking the fucking idea of the podcast a little literal, don't you think?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the lame way to go out. If you're trying to kill yourself and you have a "how could this happen to me" sort of suicide.
Well, Adam, what's gotta happen is I've gotta have a girl injecting me with heroin and telling me I did a good job and that I'm funny while listening to some Sinatra.
And you're still here, so I'm guessing you couldn't fucking cobble that shit together.
No, I couldn't find enough heroin to do it. I've got a pretty high tolerance to most things. I take about 7 Valiums to take a nap.
Well, all right. Getting out there a little bit. Well, damn. Well, let's get into the show, man. So what do you got for us this week, man?
All right. So, have you ever heard of critical race theory?
Yeah, I've heard that term come from people that I would consider liberal douches. But
yeah. So that's what happened. Is that Florida banned the teaching of critical race theory, and wouldn't you believe it, everybody's losing their shit.
Okay, so they banned this shit. Well, I knew we were going to be talking about this shit, so I decided that I would just give it a nice little definition, because oftentimes there's a lot of misconceptions as to what people think shit is. So critical race theory, it's an academic movement of civil rights scholars and activists who seek to critically examine the laws as it intersects with issues of race and to challenge mainstream liberal approaches to racial justice. Critical race theory examines social, cultural, and legal issues as they relate to race and racism.
Basically, slavery is still happening, and you need to say sorry 100 times a day, or else you're a bad whitey.
Well, okay. So let me think. Who gives a shit about Florida banning this stuff? Well, all right, there's going to be some people that give a shit because they're happy it got banned. That's for sure. Because I can understand people's desire to not want to make everything about race all the fucking time. I can see why people might feel like that's happening. And I could see why people would be pissed off that they just outright banned it altogether.
Well, the only people in Florida are retired white people or fucking Cubans. So I don't know who's the black people getting mad at this shit in Florida.
Well, okay, so first off, what got it on the agenda in the first place it does seem like a white chick move.
Well, it's always a white chick move, Adam. It's always white chicks pulling this shit that nobody asked them to, because they have to create problems. That's what they're born to do.
Well, I mean, oh God, what's the meme? You're out of line, but you're not wrong. Okay. Well, so, I really don't give a shit that this shit's getting banned in Florida. I mean, I might a little bit, just because I know that the people that are melting down about this are the type of people that I enjoy watching melt down.
Well,
what's the term? The Schadenfreude?
Yeah, here's this article. And you wanna guess who it's from?
Well, give me the headline.
All right, so parents who opposed critical race theory on Fox News are GOP activists, report says. they're ousting these people that were on Fox News as being GOP spies or whatever.
I'm gonna say that's a CNN article.
As close, it's NBC. It's the good old rainbow peacock.
Man, whenever it comes down to the big ones, it really sucks because they're almost
all
interchangeable.
The same. They're all the exact same. They're all owned by George Soros.
Or something like that. The fucking spooky ghost of George Soros coming to control the medias.
Who fucking knows, man?
So, anyway, what is it about this article? So
they're saying so there was these people on Fox that were like, we don't like the critical theory. And then for some reason, this Ribble watchdog group was like, oh, they're paid actors. They're lying. Like, oh, so what? Oh, nobody has a problem.
They're pulling an Alex Jones and saying they're crisis actors.
They're saying basically they're saying the equivalent. They're calling them GOP activists because activists is their word for agents.
Well, that's pretty funny. It's not like it's hard to find people that don't like the critical race theory thing. If you want to let people know what critical race theory is, just find the people that like to talk about this on a very regular basis, and then people will be pretty opposed to it pretty fast because a lot of incredibly insufferable people really want to carry on with this. From my I don't know a whole shitload about it, although I am aware of it and, sort of what it's supposed to stand for, what it's supposed to actually mean. I've looked into it just enough where I realized that it was basically useless to me. Because at a certain, I don't know, from what I saw, there is a lot of white guilt washed in there, but all it does is just complain about shit. It's not a practical stance.
Remember, it's your fault that people from England sold slaves to Brazil.
And whenever I hear something like that, I go, yeah, okay. And what? What comes next? What's that? What's after that?
Yeah. Sorry. My bad. I won't happen again.
Oh no. And on top of that, a lot of people kind of feel that way, but they also take a really shitty mentality stance about it. I don't know.
Do they want the cotton back? I don't know.
Oh no, I'm starting to come in full circle and actually giving a shit about this again because it is making people act fucking obnoxious.
No, you're turning gay, Adam. Stop it. You gotta stop. I think I need to give less of a shit to compound to counteract your thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get the nurse to kill me so that I don't have to care about anything ever again. So let's just pause the recording real quick.
All right.
All right. I'll be right back. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Rabbit, how's it going?
It's all right. Oh, are you doing your thing?
Yeah, CJ's getting the nurse to go fucking change his ass or something.
No,
So, hey, say man. All right. So I got a question for you, Brody.
What's that?
What do you think about Gay Pride Month, man? Who do you think gives a shit about Gay Pride Month, bro?
MasterCard, Visa, they care a lot. That's kind of about it. It's the only people I ever see at the fucking things.
Really? So
yeah.
Hey, Rabbit, what?
I've been to a couple of prides. I've been to a couple parades and festivals, and it's all just it's white chicks with their tits out and just sunburnt guys in leather.
I went to exactly one pride, and that was the one right when when gay marriage got legalized. And that was actually a fucking huge ass rager. I was dating a chick that was into the whole polyamory thing and had a bunch of fucking weird acquaintances. So
Oh my god, they always do. They always fucking do.
yeah, and it was weird. I like the day ended with me like walking up on some chick getting her asshole fisted in like the back bed of a fucking truck, like by another
All
broad.
right.
I'm like, well, this was an interesting pride. Oh, right. But I mean, that was
just
that was about as much as I gave a
things
shit.
you see in the city.
Well, I knew it was going to be a fucking rager. That was for fucking sure. That was about the only reason to go, really, at least from me.
Look, maybe she just dropped something. You don't know.
Oh no, these broads are into all sorts of fucking shit. But you know, it is Pride Month, and but there's just not a lot of things that intersect my life that have to do with any type of gay issue at all. So, you know, if no one ever talked about it online, I literally wouldn't even know. So I was just kind of thinking about that. It's something that misses me.
It's
completely.
funny. The only reason I remembered it was Pride is because I saw people complaining about corporations caring about Pride.
Well,
so
it is kind
people
of
giving
annoying.
a shit about shit. It's so goddamn annoying.
Well, also at the same time, I can only be so mad because they think that they're going to get money from doing this. And I mean, are you really going to get mad at a dog for being a dog? So, I mean, it's to be expected.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm getting at with this fucking MasterCard shit. They're always just like, oh, you know, it's fucking, here's Pride, and also, like, we're starting a new, whatever, 0% financing and whatever shit. It's a fucking ad campaign. It's always a goddamn ad campaign, because you know what it is? You know what it is? Pride Month is fucking Trucktober. It's Truckvember, where they come out, they got a new season. They got a new season sales event that it's like all season long, all gay all day. We gotta move these fucking dildos or whatever.
So Rabbit, you're a member of the LGBTQIA plus community, right?
I guess, unfortunately. Continue.
Okay, so has Pride Month ever mattered to you?
Oh my god. Well, when I was younger, when I was in school, I was a care about shitter. I cared about shit all the time. So it did at one point matter to me, but fuck, I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter at all. Like, it's cool. It's cool if you want to do that, fine, but fuck, a month, 2 months. There's like the gay pride, and then like the gay history month that's later.
What?
There's like there's like gay history month too.
Well, oh, okay. Actually, how did I not know that?
People don't really care about it.
So what made you not care, man? What changed your attitude about it, if you don't mind me asking?
I went to a Pride event, and I saw a street magician, and from then on I was like, oh, this is a joke. This is a carnival. Like, that's what this is. This is a fair. This is like, you're not doing anything. You're just like, oh, cool. Let's throw a big fucking block party. And it's like, then it's not for anything. It's not because of anything.
Well, I mean, doesn't everything end up getting co-opted and corporatized and turned shitty?
Yeah, I mean, it.
So what I'm asking is, there, like, just like the spirit of Christmas, is there a spirit of Pride that people should actually give a shit about? I mean, the way that some of like the you know, that fucking riot that happened in the gay bar when they're like, no, we're not fucking shutting down. Riots are always cool. I mean, I guess that's pretty cool. Something to be proud of, I suppose. You got a bunch of people that like taking dicks in unconventional places, and they're like, you know what? How about fuck you, police? Start smashing shit and turn over a cop car.
Speaking of dicks in unconventional whatever, I watched the buck breaking documentary.
The what? Oh, the buck breaking documentary?
Yeah, what the fuck? Shit is so fucking funny.
Dude, that shit is just on my peripheral. I saw some people posting about this, and I'm like, oh no.
The rundown is that buck breaking is anti-gay propaganda invented by black nationalists. They said in the documentary that like the only type of sex a white man enjoys is gay sex. It's fucking funny. It's funny. They got a lot of like DeviantArt tier race porn in this fucking documentary. Check it out. It's on YouTube.
Oh man, I definitely will have to check it out. Actually, there's been a lot of really good documentaries that have been coming out. And, there's a part of me that died when I was a child when I realized that all documentaries are basically propaganda. That it's really, at the end of the day, it's very rare that they're only trying to inform. They're trying to make it entertaining, and that always means fucking weaving a story and putting some bullshit in there somewhere.
When you start to have a narrative, you start to put a little bit of yourself in there. Start to put a little bit of your own little spin on things.
So white men only enjoy gay sex. That's what this fucking shit was trying to say.
Oh yeah, it was.
They're going to say that on Pride Month.
So if you guys are like gonna be recording later, can I hear those like To Catch a Redditors that you had planned?
Oh yeah. So, well, okay. So here's the one that we got about the critical race theory.
From r/news, One That Boatline Ping writes, how do you ban something as abstract as critical theory? If you see a pattern in the way social structures influence the behavior of individuals, you just have to ignore it? Seeing that pattern is now illegal? Old Creeker writes, my take on it, minus all the fancy language, is racists in power will implement and enforce racist policies. If anyone wants to modify or correct that, please do. To deny me critical race theory is denying that things like separate drinking fountains and sundown cities never existed.
Give me critical race theory or give me death!
Man, I've never heard people try to say so much yet so little at the same time.
I know. Oh my god, that fucking first one. That guy sounded like a total Melvin. Like the most imperative thing. That's what fucking dumb people do when they want to sound smart. Is they talk fast with big fucking words. That's what fucking Ben Sharpio does. That's what all that fucking like. Actually, that hypothetically, if I were to teach critical race theory in my schools, then you would find out that black people
Ben
actually
Shapiro, man. I love Ben Shapiro. Dude, he's my favorite shifty heap. How the fuck you gonna talk shit about fucking Ben Shapiro like that?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I would never say anything negative
you
about
can't say anything
the types
bad about
of
him.
people.
Otherwise, it's anti-Semitic, man. Look,
I would never say anything against Semet. I think that Semet is very great. I'm pro-Semet. I'm pro-Semitic, of course.
Oh, here's some critical race theory for you. So, have you ever thought that something was anti-Semitic, but it never crossed your mind about it being racist? Almost like it's easier to call something anti-Semitic than it is to call something racist.
Huh. Yeah, that is interesting.
Man, fucking Jewish marketing fucking kicks ass, man. Now, there's some positive
They're
racism.
great at it. They are great at it.
Better fucking watch yourself. All right.
You know, if they had anything to do with the media, I'm sure they'd be killing it.
Mm-hmm. So here's this was To Catch a Redditor about the fucking gay pride parade.
From r/bisexual, a cute femboy writes, it's still absolutely abhorrent that this video has as many dislikes as it does. Such a weird thing for straight people to care so goddamn much about a colorful parade about love and tolerance on a kid's TV show. Like, what was their endgame here? Dislike it so they super know we hate this? We already know you don't like anything related to the community, you fucking twats.
So this is
guarantee you that was an American that just used the word twat.
Oh god. So this was I found another fucking comment about the fucking Blues Clues gay pride parade thing, but I figured that it ties into gay pride month, man. That fucking works.
Something that nobody wanted. Something that nobody fucking wanted. Blues Clues shit.
I mean, I do find it really funny that someone's like, oh my god, I need to bring me the internet right now. I need to talk about Blues Clues.
We just got some hate mail. Wonder who it's from.
Oh. All right, here's more about this fucking gay pride parade.
From r/casual conversation, Random Potato writes, if pride parades shove homosexuality in people's faces, then church services shove Christianity in people's faces also. Neither of them are to convert people, in my opinion, but to celebrate your culture with people who share it. If you disagree with that culture, history, message, etc., just try to avoid it.
Church services are often they don't really close down city blocks. And another thing is, I think they are to convert you most of the time. They're to show you the good grace of Christ. And
have you heard the good news?
Yeah. They go out and do this community outreach so that they can talk to people about their Lord and Savior.
Imagine if the roles were reversed, where you got this fucking Christian parade going down the block where they're fucking raging out and handing out condoms and shit, and then you got the gays in their fucking leather daddy outfits going door to door, going ding dong. Have you heard the good news? Being gay is awesome. Have you thought about coming to the gay club? Here's some literature. I think, that very much it is a very different. Now, see, this is.
Have you heard the fabulous news?
That's the whole point of this fucking bit, because that's some of the stupidest shit you could fucking say. They are not the same, at all. Not even fucking close. Oh.
I was sitting here trying to think of what the good book would be for gay people, and I honestly can't think of a single book. They just don't fucking exist anymore.
Well, if it was a gay furry book, it could be a Sonic the Hedgehog comic or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Read I'm Just Not Myself These Days by Josh Kilmer Purcell. That's what I got for you.
All right. Well, let's get out of the To Catch a Redditor. And let's vamp a little bit, man. So let me ask you something, Rabbit. Wait, how long have you known me?
Oh man, it's got to be at least a year or two. Maybe not 2. I don't think 2 yet.
No, well, it's definitely creeping up on it. So
yeah, I don't know. I ain't got a sense of time no more.
I'll tell you, it was strange. I went back and listened to some podcasting episodes that I'd been on and other places, and I often find myself at a loss to describe myself. You ever experienced that sensation before, man?
I've had to describe myself?
Yeah.
No. I've had a very nice couple of doctors give me some very good labels to describe myself with.
Well, at least you got that. I don't know. I was musing about it.
I always hate that question, though. Tell me about yourself. Fucking, where do I start? What do you want to know?
Well,
6.5, 6 3/4 on a good day.
Well, that's where my mind went, because I don't know. The easiest way I could describe myself is I'm weird. I've always been weird. I've always been a kind of hit you sideways, out of the norm kind of guy, no matter what I was doing. And
anybody that can fucking tell you about themselves is goddamn boring. If you got a couple words that you can say that sums up who you are as a fucking person, you are boring as shit.
Yeah, it's. You mean you're not wrong? That's true. But even on this show, usually people have listened to this show, have listened to it from other places. Actually, on the show itself, I haven't really talked about myself very much, other than the bonus episode things. And let me ask you something, man. Out of all your time of getting to know me, what about me surprised you the most? What did you not expect to come from me?
Oh, there's been a couple of times you've shocked me. I didn't expect all the Dungeons and Dragons shit. For some reason, I thought that wasn't you.
Huh.
And I didn't
What?
picture Dungeons and Dragons mixed with a full back piece prison tattoo. I think that's
Yeah.
probably what shocked me the most is just seeing, oh, holy shit, this guy was in there.
Yeah, that is a weird. Actually, I've had enough people ask me about like the Dungeons and Dragons thing, and like while I was down, that's actually something I'm starting up for the show. It's a little bonus thing on the side that once a month I'm going to be doing a one shot like D&D ish game. It might not be the D&D system, but basically a one shot game. And then, I'll record it and we'll do it on Tabletop Simulator and throw it on the Patreon thing. And I'll try to make it entertaining because really that's the crux of whether or not the story's going to be entertaining or not is whoever's running the game. Are they capable of being able to come up with things off the flywheel and make a funny joke about something? That's something I've always been able to do. And it actually, the whole time I was down, it was actually a really good way of making friends. I got to know people pretty well by playing Dungeons and Dragons with them. And it's a game too. It's about the most social game that I play. I mean, I've been around games all my life. I mean, some of my first memories that I have are playing regular Nintendo from when I was like maybe 2 or 3 or something. Like way, way back there. So I've always been like obsessed with games and always strived to be good at games. There was just something about gaming in general that I enjoyed. And it was with video games, Magic the Gathering,
You're a smart
and I
guy.
enjoyed.
I think that you like figuring out systems. You're a real big figure it outer.
I was a National Merit Scholar.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. So I got a good enough grade on my PSATs that it helped the school and some shit. They got some program that came with it. I didn't really pay much attention to it. But I did get a perfect score on the math on the SAT. That's something that I could be like, hey, I did that. And that's one of the reasons that school wasn't all that expensive because I was constantly able to write scholarships and stuff. I did well scholastically. I would just stop giving a shit about stuff where I would get a little over halfway through a degree and I'd be like, I hate this shit. Fuck it. I'm gonna change to something else.
You're too damn smart, man.
Well, I'm a true master of none.
Well, that's the thing. By the time you finished half a degree, you're like, that's all I need to know about this shit. Moving on. You're like, I've taken what I need. I got what I wanted.
It has. Well, actually, you're not exactly wrong. Because the whole time I was in college, that's when the internet really started really taking form as we know it. And so I started knowing enough just to get myself in trouble. But then I'm the type of guy that if I knew just enough, I would research the rest of the way through it and figure things out. And I've always kind of been that way. So I did kind of get bored enough to just kind of move on to something else. Because I have pulled out my old fucking engineering books and made sure that I was going to make something that wasn't going to rip a bolt apart and shit like that. Because I do machine work stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's another thing I find cool about you.
Oh, that I do practical things.
Well, ex-con plus machinist is not exactly the rarest combination.
It's not. It's because it's a blue collar trade, but to be good at it is really hard. That's one of the things I like about it. I also enjoy the meritocracy aspect about it. Is that at the end of the day, if you're really good at it, no one can tell you you're not.
Oh yeah.
And
someone says you ain't got shit, and you're like, well, show me the witness line on that. You tell me I'm not shit. Point to it. I dare you.
Oh man, I've pulled so much shit out of my ass too. There's a bunch of times that I've just made all sorts of wacky crap to get something to work. I'm also what's known as a repair machinist. So we got these old ass fucking Warner Swayze lathes. These things are from the 60s, right? It's a grandpa's lathe, and parts will break on it. And this thing was made in the 60s, dude. Parts of these things are still around, but it is a pain in the ass to find them. And a lot of times it's just easier to make another one. So if a drive shaft fucking breaks because a little drive sprocket fucking busted out, let's just fucking make another sprocket or make another shaft piece and, you know, keep it ticking. And I'm the kind of guy that can take a broken piece, put it together and just, you can give me whatever. I'll make another one. It might take me a long time, but I'll do it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's sort of like, look, I'll figure out what part this was meant to be. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, also there's an aspect of like buying tools and shit like that. And that's why I love special projects. It gives me an excuse to buy fun things that and
I know what you mean. I always hate like I basically got a big list of all the tools that I want, and the second I find a project that's like, oh, I need a new fucking thing for my yard. I'd be like, oh, cool. I get to buy a new toy. I get to get a new thing to put in my fucking shed.
yeah, I'm like that, but for industrial cutters.
Yeah.
But you know, even when I'm talking to people about me, like I get weird fucking looks all the time because I went from engineering to nursing to sociology, and that's such a disjoined group of majors.
You were nursing?
Yeah. I got the better part of a nursing degree.
All right. You got another thing that shocks me.
I thought I told you about this, man.
You probably fucking have.
Well, no, a lot of stuff gets lost in the wash, man.
A lot of stuff gets lost in the... Never mind.
But yeah, I thought I was going to be a nurse for a little while, but that was one where I realized that like engineering was something I could do. I just thought it was going to be boring, but nursing was something that was harrowing. And I was like, nah, fuck this. Like fuck no, not regular. No, fuck no. Like this is fucking depressing shit. So, I went and had an existential crisis.
Gotta have one of those every once in a while.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was, 22, and I had already jumped around majors a couple of times. I remember looking back thinking, like, oh man, in my life's plan, I'm already supposed to have been graduated from college and be on like a career track by now doing shit. And I didn't have any type of degree. And not only that, I didn't know what I wanted to do at all. And so I decided to take a sabbatical. And I was like, I had just started smoking weed, and I said, you know what, fuck it. This is what I'm about. So,
love that enthusiasm.
Yeah. So I decided that I was really going to get into smoking weed. This is what I was going to do. So I made a couple friends doing it. I made some more friends doing it. And before you know, I got like a hangout spot, and I have befriended a bunch of dealers. And when I really got into it, that's when I decided to drop out altogether. And then that's when I like fell in, and I was like, well, do you know what? If I'm not doing this, I might as well just be like hustling, because, you know, why the fuck not? And
I mean, if
like
you're
I knew a
smart,
bunch.
you're good at it.
Well, I wasn't so much a social networker as I guess I was more of a tard herder, I guess you could say. Because there's a bunch of other people, they weren't bad at fucking phone hustling and getting shit gone. But when it came to actually keeping everything together and making sure that shit was running smoothly, they just weren't very good at that. And on top of that, people were also very irresponsible with their money. So by actually making people be accountable for how they were blowing their fucking cash, it actually did a lot to hold things together.
Yeah, some people just need to be told what to do.
Well, I don't know. I guess whenever someone has to actually like verbalize what they're about to go blow their money on, it makes them think twice. Because whenever someone is like, you know, we got our fucking hustling fund that we got going on, but people could cash out of it at any point if they needed money for like big expenditures and shit. So if someone was like, hey man, I need this much out of my fund, I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And if someone's trying to be like, I need $2,000 because I feel like I need to go buy some clothes. Well, yeah, I mean, that sounds a little ridiculous, actually, whenever you actually say it out loud. So that was a lot of what I did. Also, I was a huge gun enthusiast because, I mean, the whole time I'm going to college and I'm doing all this shit, I'm gaming.
Very mechanically minded that way.
I tell you how I did approach it. One of my favorite videos to watch while I was sitting there hustling was the Meet the Engineer video from Team Fortress 2.
Oh, classic.
He was like, look, buddy, I'm an engineer. It means I solve problems. That's exactly how I looked at hustling. I'm like, you know what? There's problems that could happen. What if me, Mother Hubbard, wants to come rip me a structurally superfluous new behind? Well, I need a lot of guns, and I need to make sure that I can use these and apply them correctly, and that people know that I'm not to be fucked with. And that was the main thing, because people knew that there were consequences. Things were already thought about and prepared for. Then people were already like, well, how about no? I never had any issues with my whole hustling career. And it was a weird career too, because I remember buying the fucking trap house. It was really an apartment, but we go in this place and there's nothing there. We're sitting on a fucking milk crate. And in like 3 months' time, we got like fucking lazy boy recliners and fucking carpet and an indoor theater and shit. We got that whole place fucking wired. And we were fucking doing the damn thing. Like, I would get in my car and have reality checks where I'm like, all right, reality check. And I'm like, nah, I'm not riding with any felonies. And and usually when I was riding around with weed, I wouldn't be riding around with like little personals. Usually that wasn't the case. It was like a lot. Like enough to be a real damn problem. Enough where you can't really just hide it in the car.
Oh. I mean, I never knew to what degree you were moving, but I always knew that you had something. You know, you had something pretty fucking hefty.
I've done the math at one point. By my estimations in my hustling career, it lasted for a couple of years, roughly. And in that couple of years, me and my partners moved about like 1.6 million bucks worth of weed.
Oh man. Sorry, go on.
But that's like the regular swag, like ditch weed. Like, this is weed that we had to go get from cartel people.
Right. Which I have luckily never had to do.
Well, I had a partner of mine that went to high school with a lot of these people. And people that ended up getting plugged in. And so that was our end to get to know these people. And funny enough, a lot of these cartel people liked me. They thought I was a real curiosity. Because
I mean, you're a real interesting guy.
Well, not your typical drug dealer. You normally don't have a fucking merit scholar.
Nerdy, little.
At that time, yeah. I probably, like, most of the time I was hustling, I was weighing like 160 pounds. I'm fairly scrawny. And at any given time, I'm always talking about fucking guns and asking about your fucking guns. or talking about some weird shit about drugs, because taking pharmacology kind of got me into it, sparked my curiosity for being a psychonaut. So I was always getting out there trying to look up more shit about drugs. And I was always hanging out with every old hippie I could find to hear their fucking crazy ass stories from back in the day about their fucking dope stories. Oh, dude. Love these stories.
You know, I've been getting a little curious about the old psychonautry lately.
Oh, yeah. It's a fun ride, man. It's a good way to know yourself.
I believe it. I believe it, man. I've been on plenty of journey of self-discovery in my time.
But, you know, the whole time I was hustling, one of the things that actually held everything together, surprisingly enough, was our love for hustling and hood movies.
I love, oh man.
Well, here's the deal. We would watch these fucking movies. We would all get fucking blazed out of our mind and just watch these movies. And you're like, oh, you see where all this shit fell apart right there? It was fucking Boston George's bitch ass wife. She was the one that unraveled everything. They're like, yeah, man, when we're fucking doing it big, there's no bitches in the trap house, man. That's going to stop all our problems. But guess what? That fucking stoner ass thought was 100% true. Like,
oh, yeah.
And
that's the number one rule, man. Don't fall in love.
No, really, it's just no bitches at the trap house, because Chicks are scandalous. They can't help but always want to fucking talk about every damn
Oh my
thing.
god, they want to say everything. They want to talk about every little thing that they see. Oh my god, look what he has. Look what and then like on the fucking we're always taking the fucking look. They're always taking the pictures. Look at that. They're always on the little cameras.
Here's another thing that I don't think is an angle that has been expressed exactly. Well, while I was hustling, this was pre-social media. So it existed, but it wasn't like it was. It was close, though. It was getting there. Like Facebook was a thing at that point, but the smartphones weren't even really a thing because I started hustling. I really started hustling hard the year the fucking the iPhone came out, 07.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
And
So
I was
they were not snapping chats back in that day.
No, dude, I had like fucking Nextel chirp phones and shit like that.
With the
Dog, where you at, dog?
dog, where you at? There's
Because,
what are
like,
those fucking Nextel i80s?
Yeah, dude. Well, okay, so there was a lot of fucking people that there was a lot of people in the game that they just that's the only way they wanted to fucking talk when it came to fucking work shit. So they would always be fucking chirping each other. I barely got used to that shit because I had one, but I hated it.
Just get a fucking walkie-talkie. Like that's what you want. That's what you want to use as a fucking walkie-talkie.
I just banned everyone from calling me. Basically, I'm like, don't call me. Don't call me unless I really know you, and don't call me about work that much because I'm really not here. If you want me, you know where I'm at. Just fucking show up. That was my look at it. I hated my phone, and I didn't like texting.
I fucking hate talking on the phone.
All.
It's funny that I do it for a living, but whatever.
Well, like, you know, I lived out at the trap house, man. I stayed there, and I didn't go to anyone. Everyone came to me. So people dropped the shit off there. People came to pick the shit up there. So I was there pretty much all the time, except for when it got really late, and I went to go work the door at a fucking hippie bar in downtown, and that was like almost the only time I really left the place because I would be there just like people are constantly swinging through and I'm just playing Xbox on my projector with people fucking whooping everybody's ass at Modern Warfare. Like that's what I was about.
Like then. What the fucking dream, man.
I had a bong fridge, dude. I had one of those mini fridges that's a little bit taller than a normal mini fridge and all stainless steel, and inside this thing, the only thing in it is bongs. They're all completely clean with fresh water in it.
I fucking wish I knew you back then, man.
Well, wait, how much older am I than you? Like 4 years or something?
I'm 24.
Oh, fuck. Dude, you were like 10 when I was doing this shit.
Yeah.
Because from like, yeah, I stopped hustling when I was 24. Like I fell out of all that. And that's kind of a fucked up story because, like my falling out of hustling was because I did too much. I got too far out there. I lost my mind for a little bit, made a bunch of fucking poor choices while I was all fucked up on drugs. And, that led to like a really bad downward spiral.
Who'd you piss off?
Literally no one, man. I just did too much drugs. And then, oh man, I got convinced while I was all fucked up on 2CI to go to like an inpatient place. And, so I'm talking to these fucking doctors on fucking mushrooms and 2CI and trying to be like, no, I'm a normal boy. I don't like, but I'm still like all fucked up. And so it's a messed up feeling to wake up realizing that you just got prescribed a bunch of fucked up shit and now you're in some sort of inpatient treatment thing. That was a fucking harsh thing to wake up to.
Oh. Do you remember any of them?
Oh, man. Yeah. Actually, it's really weird recalling about all that shit because I was at a bad spot for a long time, man, where I effectively blasted off. Like I was there, but I was like trapped inside me. I knew I was acting crazy, but I couldn't stop.
I know what that's like in a way. I really do. Not to that degree, nowhere close, but being sort of like you're going through these fucking motions and you're like, why the hell am I doing any of this? None of this is good, but I don't know. That voice gets quiet pretty quick.
Well, the problem is that all you can do is recognize that you're acting nuts. It doesn't mean you understand how to act like a sane person. But anyways, I just dropped off the face of the planet, man. Like the only thing I was left with was like, I want to say like basically all my guns got sold, and I got to keep all my gun money. Which wasn't bad, even though everything was like sold on auction. I had like several $1,000s. It wasn't, and I existed on that for like a year almost until I actually got on my feet and then got a job, started machining, and then had the universe spit in my face so I could go get in a gunfight and get fucking arrested over some fucking petty bullshit.
Yeah, I was actually wondering where all that fit into this timeline. I did not know it was that much later.
Yeah, it was about 9 months after I had fallen off completely. What's funny is I couch surfed with this half Jewish hippie that I met at Burning Man.
Oy vey,
it was a Burning Man event. Well, this dude's cooler than a fan, actually, but he's got the only problems he's got are like rich boy problems. So this dude is in his own league, but we got along just fine. But I couch surfed with this guy for a little while, and then I got on my feet and started. I was doing right. I was machining, and then like my company got fucked. Like they went from like a company like 200 down to like 12, and I was one of the 12. They basically fired everyone in the machine shop except for me. And the only reason they really kept me is because they knew that I could run everything effectively enough. And I just got paid the least. So they're like, whatever, we'll just keep him and fire everyone else. They didn't even care if that machine shop stayed running or not, actually. They wanted something out of it. So here I was fucking running a machine shop, actually doing all right. And I was going to school on the side too. I actually locked in my associate's degree before I got locked up. Like weeks before I got locked up, I locked in my associate's degree. Just because I had so many credits, man. I had enough credits for a degree and a half. Like And being locked up fucking sucked. And what's awful is I have so much fucking documentation of all this shit. Out of everything that I did, that's the one where I can actually go back on any given day and know what the fuck I'm doing because I kept a journal. I kept a journal over the summer while I was hustling one time for like a brief period of time. But that thing is gone in the winds because...
Dear diary, these hoes are tripping. Yet again.
Well, usually there weren't a whole lot of hoes around. There was a lot of dudes hanging out.
Us. Don't worry. I remember.
But by doing it like that, there's a lot of party invites too, because, I mean, it's an interesting way to social network, I'll tell you that. It'll make it so you got someone for just about everything. Damn. Man, I hope CJ gets done getting his diaper changed or killing himself or what the fuck ever soon. But... Oh, say, man, I got a voicemail. You want to hear a voicemail?
Sure, let's hear it.
All right, guys, Captain Blackbread here with a hot take. Who gives a shit about systemic racism? Honestly, like, if you believe in this
Blackbeard.
shit, well, what can you fucking do about it? Now, I got a little story here. An old sort of friend of mine from Job Corps, after not having talked to me for like 3 years, showed up out of the blue. Message to me saying you're a jackass and starts explaining to me that I've got dangerous ideas of fucking, like, you know, he's telling me things like I'm gonna hurt people with my ideas. You don't understand what your words are doing for people that are like this. And keep in mind, of course, it's a fucking white guy telling me all this shit about systemic racism, because white people like to take a moral high ground on that for some fucking reason. Like, dude, it's none of our fucking business, really. Like, stay the fuck out of it until it's affecting you.
Race theory?
Because it never seems to, unless you put yourself in that position. And who's getting persecuted all the time? It's always another fucking white guy, right? So it's white people fighting white people, and I'm not really interested in that battle. So instead of
No
making
more brother
ad
wars.
hominem attacks on how fucking ugly and cavemanish this guy looks, I instead was like, what
Oh,
are you
yeah,
doing
avoid
here? Why are
those.
you doing this? What's the point of you doing this? So he
I'm
calls
not
me a
going to say how
jackass,
ugly you are.
tells me I've got racist ideals, and then says, it's nothing personal. I said, dude, am I wrong to believe that it's nothing personal when you started the fucking thing off with, you're a jackass?
That's how
That
it started.
sounds kind of
It
like a
starts on the
personal
internet,
attack.
then it bleeds out to your acquaintance list.
So he told me I was heading in a dangerous direction, and I'm like,
Nothing
dude, I'm
personal.
politically
You're a
moderate,
fucking piece
for
of shit.
fuck's sake. which I guess is far right when you're so far left.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, I know I'm not racist, but that dude blocked me, and so when he blocked me, I remembered I still had his phone number, so I
Of
went
course
ahead
you're
and
not
sent him a
racist.
message.
Your bread is black.
And that was, with the way you talk to people and how politically motivated you are, you will probably never find love. And I told him to open his mind. So I think I got him at that point. Because he blocked me before I could really start defending myself.
Damn.
Those people realize that, like, they have to develop a personality outside of just liking Game of Thrones or Star Wars. So then they get locked up in some sort of social cause, and then they never fucking recover, and they never shut up.
That is crazy, though, man. I'm trying to think of who I have that could just suddenly come out of the woodworks and be like, do you know what, man? Your ideas, they're really dangerous. And you're really racist.
If I ever work with anybody like that, I just want to... I think I have at least 3 jobs where I could just be like, hey, your employee is a shit. You should fire him, dude. It'd be funny. And they'd be like, yeah, fuck that guy. You gotta work at chill places. Work at chill places that are cool. Like where your ex-boss also illegally tints windows.
Well, I mean, it does help to have a boss that you're cool with. Oh. I mean, I do feel bad for Captain Blackbread there. Because, I don't know.
Out of nowhere, just like, hey, just popping up to remind you that you suck.
That is a shitty drive-by, man. A real shitty drive-by.
For what? Oh, you got me. You did it. You cured racism.
And, I work around a bunch of fucking, like, old school people that don't give a shit, man. Everybody has a real fuck you, stay out of my space attitude, and that's kind of, like, universal, but no one is being really freaking lame about going like, well, that these white supremacist machinations are what's really making my job not worth as much as it really should. And, I just got no interest in having that type of fucking, or being around that type of crap. So imagine that you're already kind of around it a little bit more than you would like, to the point where it already annoys you. And then here comes out of fucking left field someone sliding in those DMs or whatever, going like, hey, by the way, you're a racist piece of shit. You should go eat shit and die, you cis white scum.
I guess it's good to know that you're still thinking me, cutie.
Man, no shit, man. Well,
I guess CJ's not coming back or what? But
I don't know. Man, I'll go hit him up later.
It's getting pretty late. I'll talk to you later, man. Hopefully you get the second half of this podcast recorded when CJ gets back.
All right, man. See ya.
See you later.
Oh, hey, Adam. I just got back. You ready to keep going?